Hello and welcome back to another Warframe video. Finally catching up because this is the Battacor, and finally we actually have a weapon with core in the end that is actually good. Yes, I can hear all the Opticore fanboys screaming. I tell you what, when you are able to consistently and accurately hit the weak spots on an Eidolon, I'll take it back. Which is never going to happen because you're never going to be able to hit those weak spots consistently and accurately, so it's a pretty safe bet. Anyway, the Battacor is actually a really good weapon, or at least I'm enjoying it, and it's got a really interesting mechanic which I'll get into shortly. But first of all, let's just go over the simple fact that it is burst fire. It fires 2 rounds per shot, and it's generally actually quite fun to use simply because of its inbuilt mechanic. Now, it is Mastery Rank 10 and it's a burst fire rifle, as we've already discussed. It does 3.57 rounds per second, but that's neither here nor there because again it's burst fire. It's got a 2-second reload time, a 3-point riven disposition. Its base damage is 24 puncture and 42 magnetic, which is a bit weird. Has a 32% critical chance, a 2.4 critical multiplier, and an 18% status chance. So, nice hybrid weapon coming out. Now, this is the part where it gets a bit interesting. It has an alt fire, and the way you stack up this alt fire is by getting kills, and you can proc this alt fire just by getting the 1 kill. However, it can stack up to 3 times. Firing the alt fire will consume all stacks at all times, but the more stacks you have, the more powerful the actual shot, which is handy. And at base, this alt fire does 208 radiation damage as a 34% critical chance, a ×3 critical multiplier. So you've got an 8% status chance, but you're going for pure damage here. And it's got a 2 meter innate punch through. However, it does have a 0.4 second charge time, and it only consumes 1 ammo per shot. So, how exactly do we want to actually push this to work? Well, quite simply, I'm actually using it on mag because it works really well on mag, and I really actually wanted to show you how this works just by itself, but I just have so much fun using it on mag that it ended up just sort of being a let me show you how good this weapon is on mag kind of video, which I'm a little bit sorry for, but at the same time, oh my god, use this weapon on mag. The general gist really is kill things, preferably using it as when using mag, you use 2, the nice little magnetized bubble, and just spam a load of shots into it. You'll eventually kill things, and the moment you get 3, do your alt fire into it and you've just killed that entire mob, which is handy. And otherwise just keep pressing 3 just to strip the armor, and then do a little bit more shooting, maybe a little bit more too, and you're really kind of away. A lot of people I've heard are complaining about the innate magnetic damage, but to be perfectly honest, if you actually look into it, not a lot is actually particularly resistant to magnetic. Just alloy armor, it's -50 to be honest, but then alloy armor is also weak to puncture, so you're kind of balancing it out. Not too weak, only like plus 15%, so you're not balancing out a massive amount, but you're getting there, and eventually you can just use the alt fire on them and hit them with pure radiation, and guess what alloy armor is weak to? Yeah, that's right, radiation. But being that nothing's actually particularly weak against it, when you're doing magnetic damage, which you always will be, that's damage without any form of modifier. So if it says 100 damage, you're doing 100 damage. Obviously, certain things do play into effect with that, like such as armor values, etc, but it's probably one of the easiest damages to actually calculate. Now, I did really want to show just how effective this weapon can be. So I spawned in a couple corrupted heavy gunners, level 100, because this weapon does start to struggle into the higher ends, which is another reason I actually use it on mag, because with mag it can scale a little bit higher because you get the armor stripping and the damage multipliers. But look, again, like I said, this weapon does just work really, really well on mag, and it is just in general a really, really great weapon. I actually cannot praise this weapon enough. It certainly kicks the living crap out of that opta shit, or whatever the hell it's called. So, being that we finally have a weapon with core at the end that's actually pretty darn good, let us celebrate by showing you the build. And surprise, surprise, hybrid. Serration, split chamber, point strike, vigilante armaments, vital sense, high voltage, malignant force, and hunter munitions. Well, that's me. Have fun, good luck, don't die. It's bad for the health.